Your reasons for listening to the show, well, those are your own. But just keep in mind that the views, information, or opinions expressed on the Tuttle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors. Yeah, it's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen.
Get ready for your daily dose of Tuttle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuttle. Tuttle in Florida.
From the Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuttle Daily Podcast.
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuttle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Tuttle Daily Podcast. I'm really stoked. I'm getting to start off the beginning of the show because later on I got another guest on, and I am starting off with one of my favorites, Serak.
What's up?
How are you, Serak?
I'm good. Wait, who do you got later on?
I got Charlie Alaimo on. Charlie came on. You know, one of the first radio shows I worked on with was Ron and Fez. Okay. Now Ron and Fez was a part of Ron and Ron. Have you ever heard of Ron Diaz in Tampa, the sports guy?
I think so. Remember, I only been in Tampa for like maybe 9 years. So.
Okay. Well, anyway, I mean, bitch. I mean, that's just as much as I've been.
I know, but like,
Tampa,
I don't.
But I mean,
I wasn't a big radio guy. I just, would listen to, CDs and shit.
Anyways, Ron and Ron was one of the first nationally or regionally syndicated radio shows out of the state of Florida. Okay. And then they ended up breaking up, and then it became Ron and Fez. And Ron and
Ron broke up.
Yeah, they broke up, and it's a long, detailed story, and I'll tell you off the air on why they ended up breaking up. But Ron and Fez,
did one of them run for governor after that? It's a joke.
No, but Fez played the very flamboyant gay character in the late 80s, early 90s.
So he was playing a character, but when it was okay, right?
No, it really wasn't that okay at that time, though, because you got to remember that was around the time of HIV and AIDS.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like 90s was a little bit more, loose as far as pop culture.
It got easy.
All right. So, but he wasn't actually gay. He was just playing the part.
No, yeah. Let me
Still up for debate.
No. I mean, don't laugh. I mean, he passed away. So, yeah, that's
from
why.
HIV?
No. He passed away from a heart attack.
Oh man.
And he meant a lot to me. Later on down the road, he did come out as a gay man. He was the grand marshal of the St. Pete Pride Parade one year.
Nice.
But Fez was the type of guy. He was the producer. He was the guy that did all the show prep. He was the first guy in the studio every single day. Fez was the last guy that left the studio every single day. He was the guy that taught me how to do production. Ron Bennington was
kind of like a mentor to you then.
No, he was a very, very big mentor to me. And Ron, I've been in trouble with Ron, but Ron's the type of guy, he's one of those wise guys where
when you say that, you always remind me of that NFL announcer. Now here's a guy.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying though, if he was not talking to you, you knew he was mad at you. You see what I'm saying? Like those type of dudes that if he's not showing you any attention at all, pissed. He's pissed, right? I think I don't know about you.
That's kind of that's how I am, to be honest too. If I don't say anything, or if I'm even at work, kind of giving the cold shoulder, and I'm usually more
that's kind of like the signal, yeah, we have real heat, we got heat with each other. Now, all right, so this is a little bit of a side of before I get back into the conversation. But I know, my dad just passed away. And
Right.
one of the things that I would rather get an ass whipping, like with a belt, than hear my dad tell me he was disappointed in me.
Oh yeah. Hell
Like,
yeah. Everybody.
No. I wanted to see, as a Caucasian, I felt that way. And I wanted to see from somebody, that's from a Star Trek kind,
Someone from outer
Arturian.
space.
Yeah, the ones from outer space. Listen, and like I say, you know what, Serak, and you can attest and tell everybody, like, I do text you after our conversations, and I'm always like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't offend
He does.
you.
Honestly, he does. He does. And no, I'm never really offended. I mean, I can be offended, but never like in our conversation. You know what I mean?
No,
So I know what you mean.
Yeah, because I just want to make sure that, like, I don't want you to think like I'm taking advantage of anything. You see what I'm saying?
It's just funny that you said like Star Wars country, because like my name, not Star Wars, Star Trek, but my name, I've never really watched Star Trek, well, the old ones, but isn't there like some character on there whose name sounds similar to mine? It's like someone's father. I think Spock's dad.
Spock. God damn it. Well, the whole thing about in Star Trek, if you wear a red shirt, you know the whole thing about the red shirt, right?
What does it mean, like a blood or something?
No, red
Bloods and
shirt
Crips
means
taking over space.
Red shirts were the first ones to die.
Oh,
So it was always like if there was like this B-list actor that was wearing a red shirt, you were like, yep, he's dying.
that fucking sucks.
No, everybody that wore red shirts were the first ones to die in Star Trek.
Yeah, but like imagine like
that.
being an actor, like from the actor standpoint, like you
And
already
get
know
a red shirt.
these are your lives. Here's your outfit. Like, wait a minute.
Oh,
Am I gonna be here
fuck,
tomorrow?
Fuck, a
No,
red
you
shirt.
die in a black hole. Like, oh, okay. So there's a chance I could come back in a later episode, is what you're saying.
Now, if you wore like a yellow shirt or like a blue shirt, like you were set for like a couple of seasons.
That's kind of like, did they know that, or was like, did the fans figure that out afterwards?
No, it was like way afterwards that they finally figured it out. Like everybody that wore red shirts were the first ones to die.
Oh my god! Imagine walking in a dressing room and be like, "Is this maroon or purple?" I can't really like. What like the off red colors? Are you just kind of like questionable? Like, yo, if you fuck up, it's a wrap. You get red.
Yeah, like if you get a red shirt, you're like, oh, I'm getting scale pay.
It's like soccer.
I'm
It's like a red card in soccer.
Yeah, red card. It's like I'm out. I don't even have to roll around on the ground. But yeah,
That's
like,
crazy. They should do that now with series like in today's times. Like that'd be totally okay with that.
Well, I mean, and I don't know if we've talked. And look, I've had so many conversations, but like, have we ever talked about the first interracial kiss being on Star Trek?
No, actually, and it was actually I saw
Captain
something
Kirk
about that. And what was the chick's
O'Hara, Lieutenant O'Hara.
What's her real name?
I don't know, but the first interracial kiss on TV was on Star Trek. And like, how much of a pimp, like if you are William Shatner, that you could be like, yeah, man, I had the first interracial kiss on national TV.
Can you imagine people watching? Like, some people would be like, "Oh, I'm so happy," and then
some
people were like,
"Fuck him, he's a race traitor. He's a race traitor. Fuck him." White
Kissing
power.
those blacks on TV.
Yeah, even though she's a black alien, I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn. Fuck Priceline.
Yeah,
shit.
Fuck that. Yeah, human lives matter. Yeah,
I know, and sometimes that's kind of like, and not to cut you off, but I just got back from the other day. Me and my girl was at her hometown in Massachusetts, and like her family was there. Yeah, and like she, like, I always get like, I'm always comfortable, but she has a grandma.
The whitest. But it's the whitest. It's the whitest like state you can go.
But no. But the thing is though, like they're near.
Though
they're near West Springfield, Massachusetts, which is actually a very like mixed, crowd.
So you're saying, they live close enough to the ghetto.
Close enough to where they see
close
it.
enough in the ghetto.
Well, the funny thing is, her grandma, her dad's mom, is just turned 90, but she's like.
She still lives in the old ways. She still lives in the old ways.
No, not really, but like she'll forget a lot.
Okay.
So
now
like,
I will say this, you
ahead.
know, and I haven't shared this a lot. You know, my dad, born and raised in the South. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, I will say when I was younger, he was a little bit of a different person per se. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And when it came to race relations. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But as he got older, like for example, you know, the best man at my wedding was soul brother Kevin. Kevin
Right.
was the best man at my wedding, and the best man at my wedding hung out with my dad and his two brothers, and they got drunk as fuck with each other, and they had the most amazing time. And to this day, my dad's dying last breath, would always talk about the time hanging out. Now, I'm not trying to say, oh, well, my dad said, oh,
yeah,
I
but
got
like,
black
was
friends
Soul Brother
and stuff.
Kevin like the black guys were like, well, we like you, but we don't like, you know what I mean? Like,
No.
the token.
He was not token at all. Like, here, I'll give an example. And I talked about this with Charlie. I know that I'm completely, this is all like Inception going backwards, but I'm already talking about stuff that's gonna happen in the future.
Is it possible?
Yeah. But you know, like as you know, you're supposed to get your best man like a gift, right?
Right. I think. I don't know.
Well,
I haven't been to a lot of weddings.
When you have a best man, you're supposed to get him a gift. Okay.
But are you supposed to give all of them a gift? Like all your groomsmen?
Well, I only had one. So,
okay.
and that was Kevin. Okay. And I gave him an 1865 Susan B. Anthony coin. As
what?
An
you give him a quarter?
No, it's a Susan B. Anthony is $1. And at the time it was made out of real silver because our money was backed by something besides just fake money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it was a 1865 Susan B. Anthony silver $1. And you got to realize 1865 is during the Civil War.
I'm so fucking stupid, Tuttle. I was thinking 1965. I was like, you gave him a 1965.
No, I gave him an 1865 Susan B. Anthony coin.
You got to keep that, man. That's not a gift. That's
I had 5 of them.
Oh, okay. That's fair then.
So I gave it to him. And do you realize 1865 was during the Civil War, and I got married in Savannah, Georgia. And a lot of people don't realize Savannah and Atlanta was completely burned to ashes during the Civil War. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe was that a stupid gift?
I don't know. I mean, no, that's a great gift. I mean, who cares? It's not like he looked at the coin and was like, oh, this was made on the backs of my aunt. Like, come on. I mean, you can only say that so much.
But I thought it was a token of my appreciation.
Do you know how much like it's worth now?
Don't
hard to say.
You know, no. I don't want to say.
Oh, you. Well, you got 4 of them left, so you're good.
Yeah, it's about right now. The last time I checked, about $965.
Okay, that's okay. So that's, I mean, that's fair. I'd probably sell. Oh no, $965. I mean, that's not like.
I mean, that's not a cheap.
That's
gift
not life changing.
Like,
it's a good gift. It's a good gift. Depends on what he does with it, but it's a good gift.
Is it stupid though? Like, I mean,
No, because like most people give like, from what I've seen, like give, you know, shoes or fucking, you know, piece of jewelry, but that is like actual like history. He can give that to his kids and to their kids and so on and so forth. Like
it's kind of like Christopher Walken,
right?
I kept this hunk of metal. I can't even do a Christopher Walken, but you know the speech in Pulp Fiction where he's like, I kept this hunk of metal up my ass
the whole time. Yeah, when he's talking to the kid with the young Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Bruce Willis with the watch.
No, but I mean,
so
like
maybe if he has
gift.
kids back in the day, he'd be like, look, man, this is an 1865 Susan B. Anthony quarter or silver $1.
Yeah, but like
during the Civil War.
Daddy, what happened during the Civil War? Well, that's a story in itself. That's a story for another day.
It wasn't a good time for our people, but we'll get to that at another time. But No, did you? I know you don't listen to all my shows because I know you've been in the whitest state.
Oh my God, it was like Get Out. I was messaging people and like sending them.
Oh, it was
my
like
location.
Get Out, like if somebody like used their flash on their camera, like you were gonna be like you're gonna freak out. Well, you were gonna start running. You were gonna like blood was gonna start running out of your nose.
No, but it's like it's a lot of like it's kind of like a little mob town. Like the first night we went out to some Italian restaurant. Well, no, not yet, kind of. But like it's just they're all like characters, like her dad's friends, and it's like this short guy named Luigi, and he seemed like he was like.
Are they all like? How about them apples? Like, I mean, if you're in Massachusetts, you're talking Boston.
No,
you're talking Harvard.
No, they're like 2 hours out of Boston. No, they're like more on the Connecticut line.
All right, I'm just saying. Okay, so you go up there. Are you like, when you're thinking of Jordan Peele, like he's been coming up with some pretty goddamn good movies lately, and Get Out was one of those, like where you're like, okay, what relative do they want my eyes?
I know, right? I made sure to yell at my injuries.
Like,
I'm like, yeah, I look like I'm in shape, but I have 2 really bad knees, and I'm pretty sure my dick is falling off. So you definitely don't want that.
Like, does the one guy have like really small calves, and maybe he wants my calf muscles? Is that what it is? And like, I'm definitely not taking any tea from her mother.
I need a root canal. Yeah, my back is giving out, and then I had that surgery for that lump that I don't really want to discuss. So yeah, you probably don't want me at all if that was what you were thinking. But no, like her grandma has like you can call it what do you call it when they forget? I forgot.
Alzheimer's. They wanted a brain transplant.
So
they wanted to take your brain out of your head. But into grandma.
Hers is not like super severe, but it's like she has very bad short-term memory. So, for example, like I come in, or she comes in, because it was her birthday.
Was it like Serak or a Barack?
No. She's talking to my girl, and she's like, "Who is this?" And she's like, "Oh, it's my boyfriend." She's like, "Oh, hey, hi, how?" She's being really nice. And then I go to the bathroom.
Tell him the hedges need to be trimmed.
Yeah. Well, no, she was talking about my hair too.
No, that was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
No. So I go to the bathroom. I come back, and she's like, "Who's this?" She's like, "Oh, it's my boyfriend." So like every time, like I was a different person, pretty much.
Oh, okay, all right. It was great.
We're best with it.
At least she wasn't like, hey, tell him not to, put an extra coat of wax on the car or something. You know,
that's what I kind of fear. And I think like my girl was just kind of like, please don't like, I mean, you don't never expect.
But you gotta understand,
anything.
it's gotta be hard for her. Like, no. I'm a very empathetic person, Serak,
right.
and I could only imagine what she must have been going through, like bringing you and meeting new family members.
But I've been there before, and I met all of them before, so it wasn't the first time.
Okay, all right, but the one that forgets things, like, what if she would have said something really,
the 90-year-old that forgets things?
Like,
no,
what if she would have said something really, really fucking racist? Like,
I know,
really racist. Like, how would you have handled it? Like,
I don't know.
Like, maybe she. But also, is that how?
What is
she
this
really
colored
feels?
boy doing in here?
Yeah, like, is that how she really, really feels? Though, you see what I'm saying?
I mean, I couldn't be like upset with someone with Alzheimer's that is very old, that memory jogged back to the fucking 30s or some shit like that, and said something at the time that would have been considered racist, right? So like, say if she came in and was like, "Hey, what is this colored boy doing in here?" Right now, that's not really like too racist for me, but like,
well, I mean, it's kind of bad.
I am good at pivoting, so I probably would have said something like, I would have just played it off like, "Oh, so I'm just here to clean up for a little," you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get this for you, ma'am. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being racist by even making those good words or whatever. I don't know, but what I'm trying to say is that, like,
what do I do?
No, I mean, though, but like, I mean, that shows how much you love your girlfriend.
Right. I mean, that part of me could have just been like, "Fuck you, bitch." You know what I mean? Just
but you wouldn't do that, though. You wouldn't. Serak, though.
No, I was out.
I've known you. You wouldn't do that, though. Like, even if it was like the old crazy lady saying something really, really bad. Like, right. I really don't think you would have Like, even it could have been the most racist shit in the world, and I think you probably would have been
Just
like,
brushed it off. Yeah.
you would have brushed it off. Like,
But-
I know.
But
you.
I will say this though, right? So, and this is probably applies to other black people too. When you're by yourself, right? So in that situation, it's just me, and
Was there
I don't mean
any other minorities at all?
not in the household at the time. I mean, what do you consider minority? But
Like
in those,
anything besides 100% Caucasian or English.
Oh,
you know,
God.
I'm just talking like English, like European.
I mean, they
I'm
got
not
two.
talking like Portuguese or Spaniard. I'm talking straight up white, Welsh, Irish, Northern Ireland,
no.
England, whatever that may be, Polish, Switzerland, German.
No, but I think there was a Spanish guy that lived across the street. So that would have been my first go-to.
That would have been your first. You would be like, yo, vato.
Yo, I'm El Trouble.
Yeah.
¿Dónde help?
Yeah.
Oh man, no, but they're cool, man.
¿Cómo
Like I said.
estás? ¿Cómo estás, mi amigo?
I know. Then I
me-
offend him. Can you imagine that? Like offending a
amo-
Spanish person.
Mi amo Serak.
Me gusta beber pendejo, por favor.
Estados Unidos, por favor.
Are you a citizen? No, don't. See, and that's even stupider, right? Like
See,
somebody
now
can say
that's
something.
stupider.
Yeah.
See, now that shows you that, like, you know, even minorities can be racist.
Yeah, I just
towards each other.
doubled down on her racism. It did,
Yes, exactly.
but that happens. Listen, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Everyone has some form of racism. Some people
Well,
are way more, out and about it, and some people, think in their heads.
but Serak, though, like, you know, you got to think about this, though. Okay, now we are nothing but evolved animals, correct?
Correct.
Like, I mean, that's all we are, right?
Right, monkeys.
And well, not monkey. I didn't say that.
Here we go again.
You said that. You said that. I did not say that.
I
am
mean,
the white guy, and I
evolutionary
did not
wise,
say-
we
I did
came
not
from, according to science, we came from a very
primates. When you
Neanderthal
say
version. How about
you
that?
said primates is a better word to say
Yeah,
than the
primates.
word that you used, which would have made me look like the biggest racist asshole if I
God,
would
can
have
you
said that
imagine if,
word.
if apes got offended, right? Like if this was Planet of the Apes and it was like, oh, I can't call them primates anymore. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oh, dude, but I mean, the thing about it, even though we have guns and stuff, like,
Mm-hmm.
do you realize, like, you just took the biggest swig of alcohol or
You
water?
heard that?
Yeah, I did. Like,
Fucking
I
fuck
was
this
wondering
mic,
what that
man.
was.
It was
It was
a
like-
gallon of water.
I was like, "Fuck, are you like an elephant? Like, at the fucking water
Sniffling
hole?
earlier. Like, what are you doing?
you're just
"Oh,
like-
doing drugs and drinking. That's all.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm fucking. I just did a shot of Jack and a snort of. I did a
Yeah.
bump of cocaine
Oh god.
before I came on.
You forget how much these mics can fucking pick up. Fucking
I mean,
heartbeat.
but I also have a great ear because of all the stuff
Great
that I've
air.
been listening to.
In case
but,
any of those colored folks are in the yard, I could hear it. I'm just-
No. But like, I don't think people realize, like, even the smallest primates, how strong they are.
Right.
Like, do you realize, like, a gorilla,
Straight
though,
muscle.
a gorilla is just like the most jacked, like when you're thinking, like 0% body fat, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just all fucking muscle.
And all they eat is plants, which is even weirder, right?
Yes, but the thing is like, if you face off with a gorilla, like, there's nothing you could do. Like, I mean, he could rip your arm off of your body without like using a tool at all. Like, he could
Yeah,
just
like,
grab your
you
right
could-
arm and just rip it off.
Because like you can't like really like if you're in I don't want to say the octagon, but like you can't really like you can outsmart a gorilla, but not like when you're in a closed area, right? So like
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
animals you can like, maybe distract them, throw some shit, get loud, spray something, yell. But like a gorilla, like their only defense is like, fists. They would just
Oh.
rip you apart.
Okay, but think about this. Remember the woman in Tampa that had her face ripped off by Travis the chimpanzee?
Wait, that was in
And-
Tampa?
Yeah, that was in Tampa.
Well, first of all,
and-
why would they name him Travis? That's a mistake. His
Well,
real name is not
well,
Travis.
I mean, yeah, you should not name an animal like a real, like, human name.
Yeah.
But Travis the chimp, they would feed alcohol and Xanax to. Like, and then like Travis the chimp just had enough of it.
Make them fight. Make them fight
and
each other.
and he ripped off his owner's face. Remember that? Remember the bitch that she had her eyeballs ripped out.
Oh my
her nose
God.
was bitten off. Her mouth was bitten off. Her ears were ripped off of
So
her
he just
head.
went for the face though. He didn't go any
Yes.
other. Oh,
No,
man.
so she was the first woman to have a face transplant.
No, just kill me. I don't even
No,
want a
yeah,
face
exactly.
transplant.
Exactly. But Oprah did the unveiling. Like they did the whole interview,
Oh,
and the
my
bitch is
God.
wearing like a veil the whole time.
I gotta look this up real quick.
And then they were all like, all right, so now we're gonna see what the face transplant looks like. And they lift up the veil.
It is Travis.
No, it looks like fucking the dude from the Goonies. The fucking
In the basement.
yeah, in the basement, like, hey you guys.
Hold on, I'm looking at trying to find a photo real quick.
I gotta turn the air on in the truck, so if you hear the button going off. But yeah, no, so yeah, Travis.
Did she see out of those eyes though? Is she like,
no, those are fake eyes.
Oh my goodness, bro. I'm looking at this photo. This is the best they could do.
Yeah, that's the best they could do. And I remember Manson on Bubba's show. He did a parody song to BC Boys Brass Monkey. And it was that junkie monkey, because they were feeding him alcohol and Xanax.
Monkey.
That junkie monkey,
Did they kill the monkey?
Great. Yeah, I didn't know. They shot and killed.
You can't get somebody drunk and then get pissed how they react.
But what about Harambe? Like, how do you feel about Harambe? That dumbass bitch that accidentally dropped her kid in the gorilla pit, and then the gorilla was dragging the kid by the leg. Like, I mean, that's a gorilla.
Let me ask you this: do you think that say if they didn't shoot Harambe, do you think eventually the gorilla would have just killed the kid?
Yeah. But
just threw him over.
But there have been cases where little babies have fallen in and the mother gorillas. Now you got to remember, a male silverback is a different beast,
right,
than a female gorilla. Okay. All right, for example,
I don't know, man.
Okay.
You can't trust animals 100 in general.
Right. No. Think about this. You want to know who the biggest pimp? Well, it's about how you look at it. The biggest pimps or the laziest pieces of shit in the animal kingdom is the male lion. The big lions with the big manes and everything. Yeah. You want to know who does all the hunting in a lion pride?
The female.
The females. And do you know what the males do? After the females bring down a prey, they just come in and they take over. They're like, they eat, and then what they do.
Here comes Simba's lazy ass.
Yeah, and then what they do it's like any deadbeat dad, Yeah,
but if it came down to the pride or whatever the hell they call it, getting attacked, he would he'd had to be the number one defender.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
Like he breaks hyenas' necks, in one bite or whatever. But have you ever seen what male lions that take over a pride will do?
What?
They'll come in and they'll kill all the babies.
That's fucked up.
No. I'm being dead serious. If a new male lion comes in and beats the male guy, the head of the household. If we're talking about Big Brother or something, the head of the household,
the king is dead.
Yeah, the king is dead. What's his face? Scar.
Yeah.
Drops fucking James Earl Jones down into the little stampede.
Yeah. So what do the other lions do? Just sit there and let it happen?
No, they just sit there and let it happen, and the male will kill all the cubs. And I was like,
get these weak ass genes out of here.
These are this is supposed to be the king of the jungle, but if I'm being honest, the king of the jungle is either the hippo or the elephant.
I think the elephant. I think nobody really fucks with elephants except for humans.
Yeah,
you've never seen an elephant get into a fight with
or a rhino. I've never just Google YouTube anything killing a rhino on its own. Lions are not taking down a rhino without No,
No.
they're not doing it.
But rhinos and hippos, they're just really aggressive. I don't
No,
think
but
like
hippos, they say hippos kill more than any other animal besides mosquitoes in Africa.
wow, that's crazy. They just do it out of fucking anger. They don't even like don't even
No,
eat them.
like,
They just
Dude,
just fight
I've
'em.
seen antelopes that have been caught in like mud pits.
Oh,
You know,
man.
when during the dry season, like
Mhm.
antelopes will get caught in the mud pit, and a
Mhm.
hippo will just come over and bite the antelope in half. Like,
oh my god.
like hippos are the biggest dicks in all of the animal kingdom. And if you ever notice, like when they get out of water, like
Uh-huh.
they when they shit,
They do like a fan spray.
no, their tail spins like a little
Yeah.
like fan, and they spray like diarrhea like all over the place. I was like, I mean, the hippos are the biggest assholes in all of
They're bullies.
animal kingdom.
They're bullies, and they don't even like. What do they even fucking eat? What do hippos eat?
I mean, they just eat grass and stuff.
Grass. And yet they're
Like
fucking.
I've seen them kill crocodiles. Like a croc will be like just minding his own business.
Honestly,
and-
I think when you die, maybe maybe humans are reincarnated into hippos because that makes perfect sense. Just assholes for no reason.
Like, I mean, the hippos are the biggest dicks in all of Animal Kingdom. All right, I know we've been talking for quite a while, but
No, you're good.
I do want to talk about you know that the job interview, the potential job interview that I've been, kind of working on.
Right.
I had the interview today, and don't give any inclination of where or what it is or
I'm
whatever
not.
it has to do.
Was it on Zoom?
No. It was over the phone.
Over the phone.
Now,
Okay, cool.
Now, but you know, like how good I am about thinking on my feet. Like
Right.
I got the phone call while I'm driving down the road. Okay. And then as soon as I found out who it was, I found the nearest parking lot so I could park and pull over and concentrate on what I'm saying. Okay.
You should have gave them my number, and I could have been like, Tuddle'S assistant, how can I help you? Oh, one moment, please.
I know.
Just
That
transfer
would have
the
been
call.
great. That would have been great. But no, like does it sound weird that I think I did too good of a job? And talking like even though they were the one that called me, I did such a great job.
Right.
It almost seems like I had it rehearsed. Like I was ready for the person
but
to
like
call
you can't those
at
type
any
of,
time.
but giving the job and where in the offer, can't really rehearse that. You know what I mean? And given the fact that you do what you do, it would be seen more as like a positive trait, right? So like if I was going into a job of, I don't fucking know, a mechanic or something like that, and I just talked a lot about cars and I sounded overconfident, not overconfident, but I sound like I knew what I was doing. That's great. But if I start talking about something, not related to that, or I'm good at communicating or that type of shit, that's different. But I think you did a good job. I mean, I didn't hear it, but
All right. Well, no. But I mean, all right. So like, here in the United States, they got to keep the job posted for a certain amount of days, right? Like
that's not necessarily
legally.
true.
No, legally they do. They do have to keep the job
Okay.
open for a certain amount of days. And the person told me that, we've had 60 people apply
Mhm.
and 55 of them have not, been what we're interested in. But you're one of the 5. Like,
But what was the point of like telling you that 55 people applied? Like,
Okay,
what's
all right.
the angle in telling you that?
all right, but I will say that the phone call was over 30 minutes long.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is that you have worked in the business a little bit,
Mhm.
and in any entertainment, like you got to capture them within the first couple of minutes, or they're going to be like, you know what, nah, I'm not interested.
Once they have an idea, it's hard to change. Inception. We were
Okay.
just talking about that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so like, if the person talked to me for over 30 minutes, wouldn't you think that that is a good sign?
Yeah. Unless he talked to everyone else for an hour. But how did it end though? Was it like
It was
call
like,
you,
hey,
or did
all
how
right,
did
so
you feel it ended? Because that is
It
was really important.
it ended as in, do you have any obligations? Which I do,
Mhm.
but I've already talked to those obligations, and they said this could be your last big chance, and you have to go for it.
Wait. they said this could be your last big chance?
Not,
Or
no,
are you
no,
just
no,
like
no, no,
rephrasing?
no. I'm not saying the person I interviewed with. My obligations, like
Okay.
my mom. You see what
Gotcha.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they said that this could be your last big chance. You have to go for it.
Hell yeah, you have to go for it.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that,
But they shouldn't tell you that and then not offer you the job.
but
You know
no,
what I
no,
mean?
no, 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 no. But they told me the date that they would need me by, which I think is a good sign.
Wait, repeat that one more time.
They told me the date that they would need me by.
Okay. So you're in then. Like
I mean,
no interview ends with, hey, can you start by this date and then not hire you? You know what I mean?
But it wasn't said, you're hired.
Yeah, but they can't legally say that over the phone or in an interview. But to me, it sounds like you're hired. Now, I don't want to blow your head up. I don't want you to get excited because, like you said,
Oh,
they went through
listen,
a lot of people.
I've been disappointed a lot in my career. So there will be no hard feelings at all if I don't get it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but still, man, like that type of verbiage at the end there, that's like, I don't know. I feel like they're saying like, hey, look, we're most likely going to give it to you, pretty much.
You know what the job is. I've talked to you about it.
Right.
I don't know. This is a pretty good opportunity, like a big opportunity.
Let me ask you
right?
this: the individual whose job you're taking or filling or whatever it may be, do you consider yourself a more talented or experienced in the same field or no?
Oh yeah, better, way better. I know for a fact better.
Okay, so is this job an upgrade for you, or is just like back to the drawing board type job?
Oh, of course, this will be the biggest job that I've ever had in my life.
Well, then you got this. Then you got it. You better than the previous guy. 55 of the 60 are dog shit, and they pretty much gave you a deadline to when you can start or move or do whatever you have to do. I think you're good. Like I said, I don't want to blow your head up, but from my standpoint, I would be like, I'm good.
And like I said, I'm not going to be disappointed if I don't get it.
Hell yeah, you better be disappointed. I'd be disappointed.
No. But I don't want people to think I'm getting like to be the spiritual type person, but like seriously, what happens is what happens. What's meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah, but man, you are at the point where like you kind of deserve it. Like you've been through enough this past. Since I've known you, actually, it's been what 2.
Well, Serak,
2 years.
This is my passion, man.
Yeah. So even
how long I've been doing this? Like I've been doing this since I'm 18 years old.
So just think about this in perspective, right? So you've been doing the Tuddle Daily podcast for I don't know how long now. What episode are you on?
Beginning of 2020.
So what episode are you on? 4 something?
I'm almost to 500.
Almost to 500. Okay, so I've been doing my podcast for a little over like a year and a half, maybe, right? And I maybe got like 100 episodes under my belt, and maybe 50 to 60 that actually posted.
But you also have other.
I know, but like
you have other responsibilities, though.
Yeah, but it's still they're not super duper important, and just the grind that you've put in since leaving the BRN.
This is my passion. This is what I love doing, man. This is something that I've been doing since I was a teenager. Like, so think about that, Serak. Like now, I'm doing something that I've been doing since I was a teenager. Now, has it paid off for me? No, it hasn't.
I think so. Look what you've accomplished in the past, 3 years. Look what you accomplished. Like you see, it's a lot. Like, okay, how do I say it? It's good to look back and reflect. I don't know if you write. I don't know if you journal. I don't know if you record videos and look back at them. But like when you actually like take a second and kind of review the past year, the year before that, and year before that, and COVID's a little bit different, but you've done a fuck ton. Given your situation, given what's happened, given losing a job, given losing your dad, given your mom said, given the heartbreaks, the girls, yada 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 yada. Bro, like I'm telling you from the outside perspective, you've done a lot, and I hope you get this job. And if God forbid you don't, there's gonna be something better.
Remember in the Marvel movies where Captain America said, he keeps getting up and he says, I can do this all day long.
Yeah. And that's how it is. It's like you said, you love doing it. So it doesn't matter what happens. You already know what you're going to do regardless.
Yeah. All right, Serak, tell people how they can check out your podcast, The Weekly Review.
Oh, of course. So Weekly Review, it's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook as well. Just type in the search bar, The Weekly Review, or it may be easier to just type my name in, which is Serak. It's Serak. I know, unfortunately, not spelled like the liquor, but I promise you, I taste way better. There we go.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I feel like if I had a cup of tea here, I should be stirring it and
contemplating
tinging it against the side of the cup to see if I could get you in some type of hypnosis trance that I could
place.
I could take over like your chest and biceps and maybe abs.
No. See, the thing is, the key is to get an Apple Watch, because what will happen is if you sit for too long, it'll remind you to wake up until you just stand up.
Wait, so you're telling me the Apple Watch is now like a defibrillator or
it's
something?
It's a defibrillator, yeah.
Yeah, like it just.
As soon as your heart stops, it probably calls 911 or some shit. Who knows?
Have you ever had that though, where like you're dreaming, like right when you're about to fall asleep, and you'll get that little jerking urge?
Yeah, it's like
you'll be like, oh.
Yeah, that happens all the time. And I actually I wouldn't say suffer, but
doesn't it feel like you're getting punched in the face almost? Like it almost kind of feels like that a little bit.
I'm kind of used to it because I get night terrors sometimes, and I'll get like sleep paralysis pretty much.
Frozen?
So, yeah, it's fucking sucks, but I'm kind of used to it now.
No, but dude, do you want to know why your body does that? That when you're falling asleep, you get so relaxed that your heart rate falls to a certain beats per minute, that your body kind of like gives you that little like natural defibrillator. Like that's what jolts you awake. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, so I assumed it was from, and this is, I've tested this plenty of times, but like lack of sleep, alcohol, stress. And
you are hitting the alcohol pretty hard.
Well, that's when I would notice it. So like, if I go maybe a day or two, I get 2 or 3 hours of sleep. That third day, I almost can like predict when it's going to happen. And when I say, man, it is like one of the most freakiest things when it first happens, because you are like, when I say, I feel bad for people who are really paralyzed, whether it's the waist down or the neck down, because that feeling of not being able to move and trying really hard is the fucking worst.
Yeah. All right, Serak. Well, I think we've been talking for like an hour.
Nah, not that long. I gotta go change my take down my OnlyFans since I'm gonna be cutting it off soon. I'm kidding.
All right, man. Well, listen, Serak, have a wonderful night. I'm glad you're back. I'm sorry. I'm glad that they did not try to transplant any of your body parts.
Well, Tuttle, how do you even know this is really me?
In Massachusetts, it could be you. You could be that guy where it's like,
Mike, how do you know?
How are you doing, Mr. Fowler?
Start speaking with an English accent, like, oh shit, oops.
Oh, how you doing, Mr. Fowler? How are you doing? Yeah.
What are you doing later? I'm going for a run.
And then I'm like, oh, Serak, dude, are you okay? And then I take a picture of you, and the flash goes off, and like I said, you start bleeding from your nose, and you freak out.
Help me!
Help me! Help me! And then they got the most southern guy that's blind who's like, ooh wee. He's like Colonel Sanders. He's like, I love your taste of art here.
You play ball? Hey, you look like you play ball. Who you play for the Bama football team? You play ball?
Yeah, you play for the Washington Generals. Yeah.
That's how you know you're in the South. They just ask you if you play ball. Like they don't say football, it's just ball. Like
you play ball. You play the oval ball. Play the round ball?
Pigskin?
Yeah. All right, man. Serak, have a good one, my friend.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Great news, folks. You now have the chance to see the face in front of that sexy voice. Right you are, sir. The Tuttle Daily Podcast streams Monday to Friday on YouTube. Anything can happen at the Hobo Fish Camp. Okay, sir. That's enough. Okay. So go to youtube.com/Tuttle. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you're notified anytime Tuttle goes live. Good job, sir.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a home in Volusia, Brevard, or Flagler counties, you need to reach out to Ian Hanna at ianhannahomes.com. On his site, you can learn more about Ian's use of premium photography and aggressive marketing to sell your home quickly and painlessly. So if you're a first-time buyer and not sure where to start, connect with Ian at ianhannahomes.com.
Questions? Comments? Concerns? Compliments? Or do you just want to tell Tuttle to fuck off? In any event, contact Tuttle. Tuttle@gmail.com. It's Tuttle with 2 Ds, dumbass.
I don't know, because I'm going through a board and a mixer.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are going through a board. How are you, Charlie Alaimo?
I'm doing well, Tuttle. How are you?
Doing wonderful. How are things in Montana right now?
They've been pretty nice. It's been a lot cooler the last couple days.
No fires where you're at? Like, are you guys getting any of the smoke?
There has been tons of fires, but because we've got a couple inches of rain the last few days, it's actually helped knock down the smoke. It's been killing me, man. That stuff ruins my allergies. And by the end of the night, I look like Man vs. Wild when he got all stung up by bees.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm not trying to be like Tuttle Cantori, like Jim Cantori off of the Weather Channel.
Oh, no. I think you're not Tuttle Champion.
Or Reynolds Wolf. You know, Reynolds Wolf might be the coolest broadcasting name that I've ever heard. He started at Local 6, which is the local CBS affiliate here in Orlando. Reynolds Wolf. Now, listen, you would think that TV people would not make up fake names, but they do, though, right? Like, I mean, wouldn't you think that TV people make up fake names?
Absolutely. I don't think it was probably as bad as radio people, but yeah.
Reynolds Wolf is a pretty badass. Like, could you imagine Reynolds Wolf being like a hot jock, you know, like on a classic rock station? Hey, what's up, Reynolds Wolf here?
Yeah. I mean, it works. I'm surprised he didn't do any radio stuff. Did he have a good voice?
Oh, he had a great voice, but now like he has this whole gimmick now where he dresses like an American version of Doctor Who, where he's like wearing like a whole vest underneath the jacket and a tie tucked in with the clip and the little handkerchief coming out of the pocket and the jacket. And I'm just like, okay, man, like, is he really like, he's either he either is trying too hard or like he's working the gimmick. Like, you see what I'm saying?
I think they're working the gimmick because I met the weather guy that does on one of the channels up here one time when I was working at the radio station, and he was like in full gimmicked out weatherman attire as well. He had like a big trench coat on and like dressed to the nines for some reason and like playing it up like, do you know who I am, but kind of acting like they're bigger, like, oh yeah, you've probably seen me here. I was like, no, I know who you are, I just don't really care.
You want to know one of the TV guys, because for the most part I really don't like the like reporters, the field reporters, because they don't take risks, they don't ask follow-up questions, they don't like, they're always like, oh, they always walk up to the door and they just knock a couple of times. They're like, we attempted to go to the suspect's home, but unfortunately we got no answer. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, the guy is accused of raping a bunch of kids. Of course he's going to answer his door.
Yeah. Or the worst one is when they got to go out and cover like some kind of weather, again, bringing it back to weather thing, and they got to amp it up and there's nothing going on.
There was a guy at Local 6, back to Reynolds Wolf. It was not Reynolds Wolf, but it was another guy. You know what he did? This bitch went down at the area, the beach that Hurricane Charlie came in at. He actually drilled down, you know, those like augers that you can like drill down into the ground?
Sure.
Okay, so he drills all the way down. He's on the beach. He's wearing a safety harness while attached to this anchor that he's drilled about 10 feet into the ground. And he's going live as the eye wall is hitting the beach. Like, you really can't understand a damn thing he's saying, but just the visual of the guy laying flat, holding the microphone, and he also goes, it was absolutely amazing.
What was the cameraman attached to?
I guess they did the same exact thing. I really don't know. But I was like, fuck yeah, this guy actually is like staying true to the art.
Do you think they'd ever let anybody do that again?
No. Hell no. Never do it again.
It'd have to be amateur reporting.
Oh, and that's the thing about it is that they would not let their own employees because it's an insurance risk. But if some Joe Schmo went out there and did it and put his own life on the line, oh, they would be more than happy to play it.
Yep, they'd lift that faster than anything, and they would have it right on. A local fan sent this in. They'd play that up like that, even though they stole it from the internet.
They were completely off when I sent that video in of the fire. Did you see the fire from the lightning strike that we had here at the fish camp?
I did.
We put it out actually with a fire hose, and they said, luckily the rain put the lightning strike out its own. I was like, oh yeah, the rain actually put a propane tank out, because the propane tank, they're made where they don't explode. Like they have like a release valve, and it just went zoof. It was like shooting out a flame ball.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before. Yeah, what do you think they're gonna say? Local eccentric puts out flame with hose?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, but yeah. That was really, really weird, man. But yeah, I would love to do some of that weather stuff. I really do think that I would make a good field reporter.
I think so too, especially when there's some kind of technical difficulty. I could just see you standing there, just wait. You're waiting for the signal still, and they're having trouble back at the base.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see that.
Well, I think I've brought this up to you before, but the college football game, it was like LSU versus Alabama, and I guess they lost power to the booth.
Oh yeah,
and they only had the power to the chick at the sideline reporter, and they basically were like, "All right, you could tell that they were hitting her in her ear, saying." All right, you gotta fill in for the two guys up in the booth, and it was a train wreck.
Yeah, they don't have anything to vamp on, really. I mean, maybe if you were like a Michelle Tafoya or something, somebody that's been on forever, but still, how much time can you vamp?
See, but that's the thing about it, though, Charlie. Though radio people, that's why I think radio broadcasters are far more talented than TV people, because they got pictures to work off of and all that stuff. I mean, we do as well too, but the audience can't see the pictures or the video and stuff. But as radio broadcasters, you got to describe every single detail. Like, you cannot be over detailed in explaining something.
No, every little bit is that much more adding to the story and adding to what you're trying to tell. So I definitely agree with that. I don't understand where they give people that have no business to have radio shows. They think that they can just carry it because of a name. Your name doesn't carry your show. You know what else? I mean, you know a little bit about NASCAR. I think they made a big mistake because NBC, which is now, see, that's also the other thing I don't understand about NASCAR. They split up their TV deal. Like, Fox gets it half the season, and then the second half it's NBC. Okay. Now they take the TV guys, which are usually former drivers. Like Jeff Gordon is the Fox guy. Jeff Gordon's on Fox. NBC has Dale Jr. Like, who do you think got the bit better of the deal, NBC or Fox? Like, Jeff Gordon or Dale Jr.? I would have to say the Rainbow Warrior, because he can enunciate a little better, like Jeff Foxworthy would say. Although I do like Dale. I mean, his show is pretty good. I've seen a couple episodes of his podcast that he does.
Have you ever watched that show he does, like Lost Racetracks?
Yeah, I did see that. It's on the Discovery one, right?
Yeah, and it is so interesting because it's like these old racetracks, and there was like trees growing up through the stands and in the infield and all that stuff. Like, if you just came across this in the woods, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Which booth has Ricky Craven in it? Like,
I don't. Well, right now it's Dale Jr., Kyle Petty, and Jeff Burton. But here, this is why I bring it up, though. Back to the radio thing. They were doing a road course, so they can't see the whole thing. They were racing at Indianapolis. Okay. So the main booth, you can't see the other side of the track. So have you ever listened to a NASCAR race on the Motor Racing Network?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, you are missing out on some of the best broadcasting you're ever going to hear in your life. Because, all right, so they got a guy in each turn. Like they got 1 and 2. You got a guy there. Then you got a guy in 3 and 4. Then you got one guy in the middle of the backstretch. And then you got one guy at the start finish line. All right.
Oh, wow.
Now they pass it around the track, like as the lead, or maybe if something pops off, they're spread all around the track, but they never, ever I've listened to their broadcast. I have never once heard them step on each other.
That's crazy, passing an audio baton like that.
Yeah, dude, it is crazy. And guess what they did? They let 2 of the Motor Racing Network guys fill in to cover the backstretch on the turns that the broadcasters could not see.
Yeah.
And it was night and day. And I was like, I think the guys at NBC fucked up letting the MRN guys on the national TV broadcast. Because, I mean, all right, so you listen to Dale Jr., Jeff Burton, and Kyle Petty talk, it's like, and then when the MRN guys, it's like, I mean, it's just like the guy just took a 30 milligram Adderall and fucking did a line of Tony Montana cocaine.
Yeah, I'd rather listen to Adam Petty than the other one.
Well, Adam maybe, God rest his soul, died at Loudon, which resulted in the most boring NASCAR race of all time. It was the last race where the guy, first place, led every lap of the race.
Yes. Hence the reference.
Yes, I know. So that is how bad it was. Speaking of the reason I made the Tony Montana thing, Scarface was on. My mom was sitting there watching, and she always like, oh, Scarface, Pacino was such a bad guy. And I was like, no, technically, he really had a moral code, though, didn't he?
I guess so. Yeah.
Like,
he only had his word in his bond, and he didn't break either one for anybody.
No, he had his word and his balls, and he doesn't break them for no one.
But he did break them because
no women, no kids. Remember, he said, I've never fucked over anybody that didn't deserve it.
But he made up the no women, no kids thing right there. Like, fuck that. Just blow him up. He would have been making more money with Sosa.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. Like it did end up leading to his death in the movie. So, like, you know what? I mean, I'm like, all right, wife, kid, I am a drug dealer, and I've already got a lot of bodies on my count. You know what? What's it gonna matter? A kid and 2 kids and a wife. The guy should have known better to be a snitch, or his wife and kids would be alive right now.
Exactly. I mean, if he was really that coked up of a gangster, he would have done it.
Yeah. See, you completely changed my mind now.
Because imagine the state of mind that he would have been in. It would have been out of control. He would have blown up probably a few people. It would have been one of those scenarios like they had back in the mob when people were doing a little too much drugs or whatever, and the bomb would be too big and it'd blow up too big of an area.
Now, in that final scene with that big, like, massive mound of cocaine on his desk, when he just puts his head down, like, how many beats per minute do you think his heart would be going? Like, if you did like that much blow?
I bet it would clog up your nose at first, and then after it started trickling in,
draining, your whole face would be numb, right? Like, I mean, your whole face.
You'd probably have a heart attack if you got up out of the chair.
But then, like, can you imagine being on that much cocaine? Then you have a fully automatic M16 with a grenade launcher, and you're just fucking. You fucking blow through the front door with the grenade and just start fucking just spraying bullets with an M16.
And you got to also remember that this is a drug runner, so his coke is pure. It's not like he's
not been stepped on.
It's not street shit yet.
No. So he must have been. And you remember in the movie, like, he gets shot up a bunch of times at the ending. So like, his body was basically just running on pure cocaine at the end of it, right? Because, like, he took like 12 shots to the body.
Yes.
And the cocaine was still just like keeping his body going.
See, they made a video game a few years back that a Scarface game, and it actually continues the story if he lives. And basically, the first mission of it is you're all coked out still, and you survive the gunshot, so you're running around your mansion killing people trying to escape.
So what? You gotta like once your heart starts like beating a little bit slower, you gotta find a bag of cocaine to snore.
Actually, if you I can't remember if it was that game or another one. You can do drugs in one of them, but it like amps you up so you can't, bullets will bounce off you and stuff like that. You don't take any damage. So what happens is he like jumps, he doesn't jump up. He wakes up and he's floating in the, the Scarface, The World Is Ours pond pool.
Yeah.
Has a statue in it. And then he starts trying to escape his own mansion. And then you got to rebuild up all your drug connections and stuff like that. And then you eventually kill Sosa.
Do you remember that Jason Statham movie where like he had to live, like he could only live like on pure adrenaline? Right. Remember, like if his heart like went below a certain amount beats per minute or second,
yeah,
like he would die or like something would happen to him.
Yep. It had Amy
Dwight Yoakam. I think Dwight Yoakam was in that movie.
Yeah, isn't Dwight Yoakam in the new in that new Clint Eastwood movie?
Yes, yeah. Cry Macho.
He was great. Dwight Yoakam's a good actor.
Oh, Sling Blade?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what are your thoughts on Randy Travis as an actor? Randy Travis, had a little bit of it. I mean, had a little bit of an acting career.
I liked him. I would like to see him.
Black Dog, which might have been the best, worst movie of all time.
Yeah, that movie was really bad. But, I mean, he was good in it. He was good in every little bit part. He was also in King of the Hill for one episode. Peggy thinks that he steals a song from her.
But Randy Travis, man, he had a big fall from grace, man. Whew.
Well, his body kind of betrayed him.
Yeah, but like he was just drinking and just doing everything out there.
I think that's kind of cool. I mean, look at Chris Ledoux. He drank himself to death. And
what about Mindy McCready? Do you remember Mindy McCready?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, wasn't she on Celebrity Rehab?
Yeah, dude, she went out in a blaze of glory as well, too.
And you know what?
She was a Tampa chick.
She, her whole story arc there on that got overshadowed because she was on the one with the guy from Crazy Train who was like smoking meth up on top of the roof of the fucking place.
All right, speaking of the Rehab, who was the drummer from Guns N' Roses that was on that Dr. Drew thing at one time?
Steven Adler.
Yeah.
He's the best, dude. We used to watch that just for him. My friend John Jr. actually knows him, and he's like, yeah, after he got done with that show, he's like, he never quit smoking pot. He loves smoking weed. He just needed to get off heroin.
Yeah, but I mean, Guns N' Roses was a pretty I mean, you had Slash, you had Axl Rose. I mean, it must be pretty bad if Steven Adler got kicked out of the band. Like,
yeah, and you know what? They were also fucked up that they didn't even really kick him out. The band manager kicked him out. So yeah, he totally got. Have you heard their new song that they put out?
No,
it's god awful. And people are like, "This is what we need in 2021." I was like, "What?
No, we don't.
Music? No, we don't. We don't need to hear from Axl anymore. He looks like an old wrinkled up grandmother."
Yeah, and when you're going bald and you put in dreads, we all know that's a weave.
Yeah, those are extensions, brother.
Yeah, they are. Those are extensions all day. I mean, even alternative rock is dead. I mean,
it is because everybody, you know what happened?
Singer-songwriter. It's all gone to singer-songwriter, Mumford and Son, fucking folky mixture hybrid shit.
Not because radio is so shitty that they got to have their bases covered. They need a song that can be played on country and pop. You know what I mean? They need a hip hop song that can be played on top 40 and on hip hop stations. That's why everything commercialized music sucks.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, you want me to be honest? You know what's controlling music right now? TikTok.
Oh, I was going to say a certain religious group in Hollywood.
Well, that too, but I mean, dude,
the Muslims?
Right. No, well, yeah, the Afghanis. I mean, what do you think? Like, we just handed over, like, you realize that we basically left 63 Blackhawks
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
in
going to be Black Hawk Down.
Afghanistan.
Wait till they start. They already found that presidential. They broke into the palace and are doing weights and squats on his
Yeah.
presidential gym. Wait till they find her fly around. It'll be a real Black Hawk Down. They might be able to get Tom Sizemore to fly one of those too.
Well, I know, but they said the thing is like they were talking about the maintenance that you have to keep up on the Blackhawks in Afghanistan with all the dust.
Oh, yeah.
And everything. They were saying, oh, they'll probably get maybe 4 or 5 flights out of each Blackhawk before
flights.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can
That's
wait.
more than they were getting before.
Yeah, and they left like all these badass sniper rifles, and I'm like, yep, yeah. How would you feel like if you had a family member that died in Afghanistan?
And then this is happening. Probably
Yeah.
everybody else feels like this is happening. What the fuck did we do? Like,
And
how
you
the
can't-
fuck
you-
did we
you-
leave so much shit back there that we just basically armed
Yeah.
a country that we basically kicked the hornet's nest. Now the hornets are getting back together and they're like, oh shit, you left us guns too.
Yeah, well, and also at the same time, people forget about the Cold War. The Russians were, we basically backed the Afghanis, and then now the Russians are trying to get in on it. So like now we basically are going to start fighting proxy wars against China and Russia, and we pretty much armed them. It just shows you how bad things are in Afghanistan. Did you see that the people were holding on to the side of the airplane like they were Ethan Hawke from fucking Mission Impossible, or whatever his name was in that movie?
Ethan Hunt. Yeah,
Ethan Hunt.
I felt like Ethan Hawke in Training Day though.
Yeah, but did you see that the people were holding on to the side of the plane when it took off?
What about
and then people were falling off?
That's so great. That's like the last flight that I took out of here. Hanging and banging.
But that's got to show you like how bad things are in Afghanistan, that you're like, you know what? I think I can hold on to this plane. I'm sure it wasn't a direct flight to the United States, but it takes some balls. Like, all right, I'm going to just hold on to this plane until it lands.
Yeah, no shit. Even if you survive the atmosphere, what are you going to do when you get to the layover in London?
Oh, I got my passport.
Passport smashport. If you can make it.
If you held on, look. Yeah, dude, you're automatic citizen. You don't even have to take the oath. Like, welcome.
If you can hide in there where the wheels come out and not get crushed or killed when they come back out again, God bless you. You deserve
or fall like your Dave Chappelle in Con Air and crash into somebody's car at the bottom.
Yeah.
A lot of people forgot about Dave Chappelle.
I forgot that he fell out and crashed at the bottom. I remember him being in that. A lot of good people were in that. That movie was terrible, though. And that was the one where the one chick wrote the song, The Country Bitch, and then they didn't even have her do it. They had somebody else cover it.
Oh, no. Well, no. Yeah, they did. Wait, was it Leanne Rimes? It was Faith Hill and Leanne Rimes both did that song at the same time, but they only picked one. How do I?
Oh, so bad. The beginning of that movie. Cameron Poe, I'm just back from back on a little shore leave, and now I'm gonna get in a tussle at the bar and go to jail for life.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Yeah.
That's when I heard that line, I was like, you know what? I'm out. Put the bunny back in the box.
You put that bunny right back in the box. That fucking cheese dick. The only movie that I like Nicolas Cage in is Leaving Las Vegas, and that's basically because he dies inside of Elizabeth's shoe.
What about Honeymoon in Vegas, where he parachutes with
yeah, that one wasn't too bad. Old Turtle Tits is in that. James Caan.
What about Raising Arizona?
That movie was okay, but I didn't like him in it. I liked everybody else in it. That's a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah. Now, all right. So, man, there's so much stuff we've covered, and we could still be talking, but we only got a few more minutes. We were talking about this earlier about fast food orders and stuff, because we were talking. I was going to Burger King, and this Burger King is like hit or miss. Like, it just shows you how bad like minimum wage jobs are, that people are just like, you know what, fuck it, we ain't working.
I think it's Burger King in general, because there's one here that it's good, and then there's one here that is very hit or miss.
Well, there are some days you'll walk there, they won't even be open. They're like, oh, we didn't have enough people show up today to be able to open up.
See, we didn't have that, but we have to close early because we don't have enough people at night.
Yeah. So
Insane.
I was telling you about the time I went to McDonald's and somebody just wanted a plain cheeseburger. You know, like the 99-cent cheeseburger you can get.
Yes.
They didn't want those chopped up onions because you got to. I think it's nasty how McDonald's does their onions. Oh my God, I lost that McDonald's sponsorship. They dice them all nice and fine. I hate that.
Yeah, I do not like their onions. Always give me heartburn. So
Yeah,
I just asked for no onions.
Yeah. So I said I want a cheeseburger with just cheese. I got down the road. Now, see, this shows that how I'm getting salt because back in the day when I worked in radio, before I would leave the drive-thru, I would go through the complete order of every single person on the show because there were a couple of times I got back to the station and the food order was fucked up.
Yeah, and then you're in a whole shitstorm.
Yeah, so I used to check everything. I got a couple of blocks. I open it up, and they gave me a top bun, a bottom bun, and a slice of fucking cheese.
They did not even give you there's no meat on these goddamn burgers.
No, but I said I wanted a cheeseburger, just cheese. Now, like, maybe,
don't know how you...
is it my fault? Is it my fault that I was not as specific? Or, like, if I say cheeseburger, just cheese, wouldn't you think that I would get a piece of meat?
Yeah, at least the cheeseburger, or at least the burger part, maybe no bun. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand why
with just cheese.
You didn't ask for bun and cheese. Can I get a bun with cheese, please? Because
I don't know,
what they
but
gave you.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. Like, have you ever had a mess up, like, order like that?
I've never had it where they messed it up that bad. I've had little mess ups and stuff. I was telling you earlier, I had it one time where I think it was at a McDonald's, if I remember correctly. Yes, it was. It was in Florida. And I ordered like 2 double cheeseburgers and maybe a Coke or something like that. And I get up there and the lady's handing me bag after bag of stuff and like milkshakes and stuff. I just took it. I mean, I'm stoned in the drive-thru. I was like, I don't remember ordering any of this stuff. I get back and look, it obviously wasn't my order. I get back and my roommate's like, what the hell is all this food? I was like, why did you buy all this food? I was like, I didn't. They just started giving it to me and I wasn't going to say no. I was stoned and like, it was back in the day too when I used to get really quiet when I would smoke. So I was not going to.
You would just take it. Like, yeah, no.
Absolutely. I was high and hungry. I would have taken anything they gave me. Napkins in a bun.
They have changed their policy on this because for a while, somebody figured out at McDonald's that if you you pulled up to the drive-thru and ordered an ice water, they did not like ring it up as a receipt. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you would pull up to the door, like, so you would get what the person behind you had ordered. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I totally see what you're saying because there's
no
ticket for the item.
Exactly. So like people were using that just to get in and get free food and stuff. Like they would just pull up, hey, can I get an ice water? Like, you know, I right now I'm kind of short. And then you would pull up to the next window and they would be like, all right, here's your order. And you would get everything that was like right behind you.
Yeah, that's crazy. It is. Speaking of McDonald's talk, and then we'll get off this. Is there any more of a clusterfuck than the McDonald's 2-lane?
Yeah. It gets really, really bad. It does. And there have been some fights.
Absolutely. I've seen some fights in those things.
And have you noticed, like, once you get in, like, even if you just decide that you're like, fuck this is taken to, you can't go anywhere because they got you trapped in a curb.
And it's way bad. I mean, down there, it's probably bad too, but because every shit kicker's got a truck in here. So, I mean, you are
Cummins diesel. It's like
higher time. Some of them are smart and actually shut the fucker off. And you're like, thank God, at least you're considerate. But 9 times out of 10, the exhaust is chopped. You're smelling fumes even when your window's up. And it's just a nightmare. All thanks to McDonald's and your stupid fucking 2-lane jobber ass fucking drive-thru.
Now, let me ask you this. You know, like Checkers, now they do their double drive-through differently, okay?
Yes.
But like you could go on the left side, but then you got to reach all the way across the passenger. And a lot of people will not fucking go to the left side of the Checkers drive-thru, and I'm like, fuck this, dude. I'll just throw the shit in park and slide across the seat and give them the money.
Absolutely.
But like nobody would ever do that.
I prefer that if I have a co-pilot with me, because that way it's about time that they did the work.
Exactly. So I think
how often can you get the passenger to do the heavy lifting? Never.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it's brilliant. If you think about it, Checkers is actually kind of cutting edge.
And their food's not bad.
Yeah. I get that double Buford burger or something that they have. Anyways, Charlie, I got to get off this thing because I had to make sure, because I don't want the vulture to get mad at me. Tell people how they can check you out, how they can check out your YouTube channel as well.
Just go to at Real Lame Charlie on Twitter. There's links to everything up there.
All right, Charlie. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for recording with me.
Yeah,
it's been kind of fun talking to you about. Oh yeah, I did talk to Chris Stanley. I don't know, I don't know if they're gonna use like just me talking about it, but I know that we talked about Fez as well too.
Oh, they're gonna cut my jobber ass out. I know that. I'm surprised you didn't. Hey, even if I'm in for a half a second, that's an accomplishment in my book.
No, but I mean, Chris Stanley had reached out and was like, hey, he also, because I think Mike Calta had talked nice about Fez, and they wanted some contact info with them, and I gave them Calta and Spanish's phone number, and then they asked about Bubba, and like I was like, I don't know if they talked about Fez or not, so like I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue. I'm just I don't know how you could not talk about him. The man was a goddamn legend.
Yeah, dude, and seeing some of the pictures. If you're not following, I hope you follow Gail on Twitter, right?
I follow the Bennington one, so I see stuff that she posts all the time.
Well, go on Gail. Gail posted one of my favorite pictures, and I think it might have been from Florida because it was Fez, and it looks just like the Fez I remember from working with him in Daytona. But I guess like Fez stayed at the Bennington house to wait home until Gail got home from her first date, and that's why I think it could have been Florida.
That's crazy, Fez. Oh man, I was listening to him last night. This show still lives on.
Man, I swear to God, some of his Fezatorials and the Nature Boys.
Oh, so great. So the show that I was listening to last night was Fez's Xanax show. So they just keep trying to get him to take more Xanax the entire show. Not that he took a lot. He only took like 4 milligrams of it, but by the end of it, he's slurring. He's reading copy funny. It was hilarious the way that he went with the bit.
I know. We talked about this last time. Still, by far, there's no competition. If you're gonna stick with a bit, and if you want a prime example of somebody that sticks with a bit, is Fez saying, "I promised you steak. This is steak.
The steak
and shake." Yeah, that and I also have to give Chris Stanley credit because he was so mad, like you said, the whole entire time. He was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? And now we're losing horse races, you fucker."
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, I hope the horses don't win." And then the whole oh god, that's great. I'm gonna listen to that one tonight when I go into work.
And that's the show for today. Thanks for listening to the Tuttle Daily Podcast. Hey, don't be a dickhead. Do us a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to the show. Also, check out the Tuttle category at 315live.com. The Tuttle Daily Podcast is brought to you by Starfire Transport, StitchYouUp.com, and PocketPairClub.com. Special thanks to show producer Vulture and co-host Serak. Show voiceover service is brought to you by JCVoiceover.com and The Little Cheese Show. Download and subscribe to The Little Cheese Show everywhere podcasts are found. If you want to help support the show, go to paypal.me/TuttleOnTheRadio. You have something you want to say? Tuttle@gmail.com or leave a voicemail at 407-270-3044. To follow all Tuttle social media, go to Tuttle.net. That's Tuttle with 2Ds.net. Thanks again for all your support, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Tuttle Daily Podcast.
I get ignorant in normal situations.
What? What you mean?
What the fuck you mean?
What are you talking about?
Nigga, what the fuck is you talking about? Oh, shit.